I'm Kelly Darnell. I am research faculty in the Division of Coastal Sciences at University of Southern Mississippi. I have kind of a split position. So I'm research faculty. I manage a lab and have graduate students and do research, but I'm also an administrator. And so I'm the director of the Mississippi-based Restore Act Center of Excellence, or EMBRACE, which is a research grants program where we actually fund researchers to do science in Mississippi and the Gulf of Mexico. So I like to think that I have the best of both worlds. During the summertime, most days I'm out on the water or in the water in seagrass beds. And then in the winter, when the water is cold, I spend a lot of my time in the office. So my research really focuses on coastal plants, mainly seagrasses, which are plants that grow underwater. It's not something that I ever really thought that I would be studying, but I absolutely love. I grew up in Buffalo, New York, so not near an ocean at all, but from as far back as I can remember, I'd wanted to be a marine biologist, not really knowing what that truly looked like, but knowing that I'd get to, explore and be out on the water. And so with that goal in mind, that end goal, for college, I chose to go to Wittenberg University, which had a marine science minor, and that was in Ohio, so even perhaps more landlocked than Buffalo, but had a lot of opportunities for field courses at the Duke Marine Lab in North Carolina, and also down at the Gerace Research Center in San Salvador in the Bahamas. So after finishing my undergraduate degree, I did a master's at the Dauphin Island Sea Lab, where I worked with seagrasses really for the first time. I went into my master's thinking that I really wanted to work with sea urchins, echinoderms that I thought were really cool, and ended up doing a project looking at sea urchin grazing and feeding on seagrasses. And then it was at that time that I really got hooked on working with plants. I found that in a lot of ways they were really interesting and much easier to work with than animals because they stay in one place. And so continued my education at the University of Texas Marine Science Institute, where I did my dissertation on seagrass reproductive ecology. And then after that did a postdoc, left academia for a few years, did a postdoc at the Water Institute of the Gulf in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, which is a nonprofit private research institute. And at that time found that I really missed being at a marine lab and in academia, and then was fortunate enough to get the position at USM. And so, as I mentioned, my research at USM and my lab and my graduate students and technicians, we really focus on coastal plants, mainly seagrasses. And so we do a lot of feeding ecology, so kind of a continuation from my master's. We also look at seagrass reproductive ecology. So seagrasses are angiosperms, meaning they produce fruits and flowers. So looking at fruit, flower, and seed production. Which is really important for resilience to changing conditions and disturbances and stresses and stressors related to climate change, for example. So really a hot topic these days. And then we're also doing a lot of work looking at habitat use of seagrasses. We have a large Gulf of Mexico-wide study where we're looking at one seagrass species, in particular turtlegrass, across its entire range in the Gulf of Mexico. So we're doing research in Texas, Louisiana, and then all across the Florida coast. I really think that the students really, and y'all made the best of it. I volunteered with NOSB when I was in Texas working on my dissertation, and I was amazed by the students and really what they knew. They were light years ahead of me when I was their age, and really continue to be impressed with the students.